In this video, I'm going to walk you through a few worded problems for equations. We're going to take what we've learned from all our exercises when we learned how to solve equations, and we are going to apply them to some worded examples. So we'll look at 4 in total. So first of all, Oren buys a car and a trailer for a combined cost of $40,000. The trailer costs $2,000. So we know the combined cost, so we know how much he paid in total, which is $40,000, and we know that the trailer cost $2,000, but we don't know what the car costs. So it says define a pronumeral for the car's cost. So the pronumeral is the letter. And when you define a pronumeral, you're just going to write what pronumeral you want the car to represent. So seeing as C starts with car, why don't we just say that the pronumeral C, okay, can represent the car's cost. So I'm just going to say C equals the car's cost. That's that question done. B, write an equation to describe the problem. Okay. Writing an equation here. So we want to find out C. We want to find out the total. We want to find out the car's cost. We know that the combined cost is $40,000. And we know how much the trailer cost. So if we go 40,000 minus T, so I'm going to say T is the cost for the trailer, but it's just simpler to write as T, okay? That will give us the car's cost. Okay, so that's describing the problem, okay? C, solve the equation algebraically. So we're going to use the equation we just made above, but since we know what T is, we're going to substitute 2,000 into T. So C equals 40,000 minus, what is T? 2,000. 40,000 take away 2,000 is just 38,000. And then it says, so we've solved the equation, it says state the cost of the car. So since the answer to our equation was 38,000, that just simply means that the car cost $38,000. So I'm going to write therefore, so these 3 dots mean therefore. Therefore, the car costs $38,000. Okay, and that's that. Question 2. Kira buys 12 pens for, that should say, a combined cost of $15.60. Okay, so she's bought 12 pens and the total is $15.60. Part A, define a pronumeral for the cost of the pen. So the pronumeral is your letter. So why don't we write P equals the cost of a pen. Part B, write an equation to describe the problem. So we know, so she's bought 12 pens. So we can write it like this. We can write 12. And then we can write P because we've defined the pronumeral here. Okay, P is the cost of the pen. Okay, so we can write 12P. And we know that 12 pens combined cost $15.60. So we can write 12P equals $15.60. Okay, it says solve the equation algebraically. Okay, so you would have seen something like this in your textbook examples. So we're just going to solve it. So we've got 12P equals 15.6. Okay, you can put a 0 on the end, but it won't really make a difference in this case. So our aim is to get this p by itself. Okay, now the way we can do that is dividing both sides by 12. Okay, because it's currently 12 is currently being multiplied by p, and if we do the opposite operation, so dividing by 12, we're going to undo that. So I'm going to divide both sides by 12. That means on the left-hand side, I can cross out my 12. P is by itself. 15.6 divided by 12 will give you 1.3. Okay, so you've solved that algebraically. And then it says state the cost of 1 pen. So the cost of 1 pen would be $1.30. Okay, so we will write, therefore, each pen costs $1.30. Okay. Question 3. Rosie is paid $17 per hour and gets paid a bonus of $65 each week. One particular week, she earned $643. Okay, define a pronumeral for the number of hours that she's worked. So you just have to think which letter could represent the hours that she's worked. I'm going to say W. W for me is going to represent the hours that she's worked. That part's done. Part B, write an equation to describe the problem. So she gets paid $17 per hour. So you can write 17, and she gets paid $17 per hour. Okay, what she works, so you write 17 times W, so 17W. But then she gets at the end of each week, or the end of this week, an extra $65. So you would write plus 65, and you know the total that she earns, it's 643. Okay, so you've just defined an equation to describe the problem. Now in part C, we're just going to solve this equation that we've made. So I'm going to write out the equation in full. 17W plus 65 equals 643. So our aim is to get W by itself, and we've done textbook exercises that follow this same pattern. So you might want to pause the video and see if you can get W by itself. Otherwise, you can follow along here. The first thing I'm going to do is to get W by itself, I'm going to remove the outside layers. So currently, that is by adding 65. So if we do the opposite of adding 65, which is to take away 65 from both sides, we can remove that. Okay, so I'm going to write minus 65 here, minus 65 here. Cross that out. Then you end up with 17W. 643 take away 65 is 578. 178. Okay, W is still not by itself. It's being multiplied by 17. So if we do the opposite of multiplying by 17, if we divide by 17 on both sides, we can remove the 17, okay, on the left-hand side. Cast that out. W is by itself. 578 divided by 17 is 34. Okay. So we've just solved the equation algebraically. Now, how many hours did she work that week? Rosie worked for, 34 hours. Okay. Let's do one more question. Question 4. This rectangular paddock has an area of 720 meters squared. Okay, right, and we just got this diagram here. And so the area is this space here. Okay. It's given us the width, which is 24 meters. And we don't know what the length is, so the length is the longer side. Okay. Now, when you want to find the area of a rectangle, let's say that the width is our shorter side, so 2, and this is 3. We actually multiply the width by the length. So you would just go area equals width times length, which is 2 times 3, which is 6. So that's the formula that we all use to find the area, okay, of a rectangle. Just going to wrap that out for now. It says, write an equation to describe the problem, okay, using W for the paddock's width. Okay. Since we know that we should know that length times width equals area, I'm just going to use this information, okay, or I could also write it like this, LW equals area. Okay, it's a shorter way of writing it. We know what the width is, it's 24 meters. So you can write 24W, 24W equals 720. Okay, so this part here describes our problem, okay? Next part here. Okay. Solve the equation algebraically. So we're just going to solve this here. We're going to get W by itself. So I'm going to write out the equation in full. 24W equals 720. In order to get W by itself, it's currently being multiplied by 24. So I'm going to undo that by dividing by 24. Have to divide both sides. On the left, I can cross that out. W equals 720 divided by 24 is 30. Okay. Therefore, we've just found the width. Okay. Now it says, how wide is the paddock? The paddock is 30 meters wide. Okay. Wide. Cool. That means it is 30 meters this way and 24 this way. Okay. And then the last question, what is the paddock's perimeter? So perimeter is when we are going around the outside of a shape. Okay, so if you were to walk all around the boundaries, the outside of the this paddock, I want to know what distance that would be. Okay, and you can write that as 24 plus 30. Now this side is the same as this side, so plus 30. And this side is the same as this side, plus 24. You can add all of that together. That would give you 108 meters. Okay, I hope that makes sense.